So have Republicans succeeded in diffusing the classified documents issue against Donald Trump? Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So I think it's worth watching a little clip here of Chuck Todd interviewing Jim Jordan over the whole classified documents thing. Why this is telling is that it was actually an interview who confronted the Republicans with their BS on this issue. Something that you never see anywhere. And the contrast is quite telling, because when you look at Fox News, you see things like that there's some White House cover-up, and they actually have graphics specifically detailing everything that's going on with the Biden documents. But let's just check out this interview quickly here. I think it's worth taking a look at.
You keep talking about a raid, but you keep talking about this raid on Donald Trump. The amount of time, there was 9 months between the initial action that the archives made for a request of documents before they even turned it over to the Justice Department. The subpoena was issued 60 days before they actually executed the subpoena. And more importantly, the only time the public found out about it is because Donald Trump told the public about it. This was not...
Okay, I love how he's just laying it out all there. Those are the facts. I mean, how can you argue with that? People say, oh, facts have a liberal bias or something like that. But these are the facts. And so it shows that if the Republicans have been able to diffuse this issue for Donald Trump, they've done something very impressive politically, actually. Let's keep watching.
Some sort of... you paint it as a picture of the FBI did this, this, and this within hours of each other, when it was actually a year and a half of Donald Trump not complying with any of the requests from National Archives. A year and a half. This is not some sort of proof that somehow that they've weaponized and playing politics over here.
They raided Trump's home. They haven't raided Biden's home.
Because Biden didn't defy a subpoena, Congressman. He defied a subpoena. By the way, he had 60 days to comply with the subpoena before they actually executed
President Trump had documents locked in a room with Secret Service protecting them. President Biden had documents in his garage and in a think tank that was funded by the Chinese. I think there's a difference. President Trump was the only guy who was actually president.
You talk about that. You're worried about the Chinese and Hunter Biden.
No, I'm just saying.
Are you worried about the Chinese and Donald Trump?
They took pictures of.
Are you at all worried about that?
No, I'm not. But they took pictures of the documents at Trump's house. They took no pictures of documents. In fact, it's not just me who would like to know what went on here. Senator Warner said it last week. He would like to get a briefing. He wants to see the documents. No, and guess what? The FBI is saying no, but they took pictures of the folders in Trump's home.
The issue is not whether what Joe Biden did.
No, the issue is equal treatment under the law. That's the issue.
No, the issue is treatment under the law. You do not seem to ever see the same conspiratorial problems when it's a Republican.
He's right about that. And the reality here is that people who watch Fox News are kind of living in a different world. I mean, it's kind of amazing how effective Fox News and this whole right-wing echo chamber is at convincing its viewers of the reality that they live in. I give Chuck Todd a lot of credit for confronting Jim Jordan about that, but you can see that there are these lines that have been drawn out that the Republicans just keep repeating and repeating and repeating. And what has the result been? Well, the result has been that now the public is equally concerned about Biden's and Trump's classified documents, according to a new poll. Now, obviously, this differs a little bit based upon their partisan affiliation. So Republicans are more concerned about Biden's documents, Democrats are more concerned about Trump's documents, etc. But, lost in this whole thing is the fact that Biden cooperated every step of the way. When they talk about things like searches of Biden's homes, they occurred because Biden invited the FBI to come and search to make sure there was nothing there. And he did this long before it was announced. So rather than headlines like this one, that no classified documents were found in the search of Biden's beach home, instead, you see headlines all over the place about the FBI searching Joe Biden's house, as if they're doing some kind of search warrant that they're executing. They didn't have to because Joe Biden invited them in to search. But yet, that entire context is missing here. And that's where Chuck Todd was trying to get across there. But this isn't the only example of where the right-wing echo chamber has been able to kind of bend reality. I mean, one great example is the economy. This is an article by Paul Krugman, one of my heroes, actually. He's an economist he used to be at Princeton. I think he's now at Baruch College. But I've actually used his textbook in classes that I've taught. And he points out that there is this disconnect that has been created at this point where Americans are convinced that we're in recession, when the reality is that the economy is actually growing. It was growing at a pretty fair pace over the last 2 quarters, that inflation is actually down quite a bit. And by a number of measures, it's down to the 2% level that the Fed wants. That there are still plenty of jobs and wages are still going up, and yet people think that the economy is terrible. Again, this is an example of where Fox News has just been so effective at kind of convincing people of some alternate reality. And this does raise a question, which is the economy is likely only going to continue to get better as we head into the next presidential election. But given the fact that people have been so polarized over the economy, and literally they've been living in this echo chamber where they don't even see reality, they can't even acknowledge what they see right in front of them, will it even matter? It used to be that if the economy was good, that the party in power would typically get reelected. But I don't know if we can count on that in this upcoming election. The scariest thing is that we really have what George Orwell had predicted in 1984, where people are literally not believing in the things that they see right in front of them. And this is a reality that all Americans should be concerned about. Well, if you want to see another video about how Fox News is literally shaping the reality that we live in, check out this video over here I did a little while ago. I mean, literally, Fox News has convinced many Americans not to believe what they see with their own eyes. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.